Another cold December evening has come to an end, and it's time to look at what made the news that has an impact on your pocket. I'm Ajay, and you're watching Money Time here on Money9. And speaking of cold, looks like inflation will not cool off anytime soon. Just after CPI inflation data for the month of November came in at 5.88%, economists at the country's largest lender SBI said that retail inflation will again rise to as high as 6.7% in December. They have said that inflation will rise in December and January, but it will again fall to around 5% by March 2023. While economists at leading credit rating agency CRISIL have said that prices of items like cereals, milk and spices have continued to rise both on yearly and sequential basis. So, pressure remains on the RBI to keep monitoring price levels in the economy. From inflation, we go on to RBI's repo rates. Economists at SBI also gave their insights on RBI's rate hike cycle. They say that with inflation falling below RBI's upper band threshold, the countdown for the end of rate hike cycle has begun. RBI has so far increased the repo rate by 2.25%, but economists of other organizations have penciled in another rate hike of 0.25% in the next Monetary Policy Committee meet in February. Currently, repo rate is at 6.25%. Economists expect repo rate to peak off at 6.5%. This also means banks might stop raising rate of interest on consumer loans if the repo rate peaks off in February next year. And amidst talks of restoration of old pension scheme in the country, the Minister of State for Finance, Bhagwat Karat, said in Lok Sabha that the central government had no plans of the restoration. He further said in the parliament that some state governments were asking the centre to return back the accumulated corpus from the NPS accounts of their employees. But there are no such provisions of PFRDA which makes it binding on the centre to return back corpus amount accumulated in NPS account of employees of those state governments which have restored back the old pension scheme. State Bank of India hiked FD rates after the RBI raised repo rate to 6.25% earlier this month. SBI will give an interest rate of as high as 6.75% on FDs of 1 year. Senior citizens will get 7.25% on this FD. Senior citizens will also get interest rate of 7.25% on 5-year FD under the SBI VCare deposit scheme. This scheme is only open till March 31, 2023. The second-based interest rate that citizens can get by opening an FD with SBI is of 6.25%. But for this, they will have to open the FD for a minimum tenure of 3 years. Citizens can also get an interest rate of 3% on the shortest tenure FD of just 7 days. And if you're eagerly awaiting for the government to issue green bonds, then we have a good news for you. Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary said on Tuesday that sovereign green bonds are likely to be issued during the January to March period of the current fiscal. These bonds will be mostly issued by public sector undertakings, and money raised will be deployed in infrastructural projects which help in reducing carbon footprint. Retail investors can also subscribe to such bonds, but according to experts, such bonds are likely to fetch lower returns than other types of bonds. And from green bonds, we move on to some auto news. Tata Motors on Tuesday said it will increase the prices of its commercial vehicles by up to 2% from January 2023. The homegrown automobile manufacturer has cited cost pressure and input price hike behind its decision. A few days ago, it had also announced increase in the prices of its passenger vehicles. In recent past, many automobile companies have said that they are going to raise prices of their vehicles from January 2023. These include the likes of Kia India, MG Motor, Renault India, Maruti Suzuki, Mercedes-Benz, Audi India, and of course, Tata Motors. Up next, we have news for all those who travel frequently to the Middle East. Full-service carrier Vistara has announced daily and non-stop flights from Mumbai to Muscat. You can also catch Vistara's flight from Mumbai to other 3 locations in the Middle East. These flights take wing from Mumbai to Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Jeddah. Vinod Kannan, CEO of the Tata Group Airlines, said they were getting a lot of demand for flights from Mumbai to the Gulf countries. That is why they have added another flight to their kitty. Now, Vistara has 4 flights that takes wings from Mumbai to the Middle East region. Vistara is a joint venture between the Tatas and the Singapore Airlines. Most of its flights are of Euro-based airline or manufacturer Airbus. The next news is on the BSE. BSE said in a statement on Tuesday that registered investor accounts has reached the milestone of 12 crore on its exchange. In less than the last 5 months alone, it has added 1 crore investor accounts. The 12 crore users, 42% fall in the 30 to 40 age cohort. Maharashtra leads in terms of the number of investors with a total share of 20%, followed by Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. The 12 crore tally comprises active, inactive demat and mutual fund accounts of both retail investors and entities. Founded in 1875, BSE is the world's fastest growing stock exchange. Up next, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, JSPL, AMNS India and SAIL have qualified for Centre's flagship PLI scheme for specialty steel, whereas companies like Gallant Metallics, Shyam Metallics, Flat Products and Sunflag Iron and Steel have already been selected to invest under the PLI scheme. The government had received 79 applications from various firms in iron and steel industry to participate in the production-linked scheme, out of which 67 applicants were shortlisted. Visakhapatnam-based RINL, which is India's largest steel maker, did not participate in the scheme. Deepam Secretary Tuin Kanta Pandey said the government is thinking of a strategic sale of RINL. And if you are planning to buy a car, then you must know that in times to come, only flex fuel vehicles and e-mobility will ply on the roads of the country. In yet another instance, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari gave a call to automobile manufacturers to march towards an adoption of 100% flex fuel vehicles in the country. He said flex fuel vehicles can run on more than one type of fuel. These are mostly a blend of petrol and ethanol. Adoption of flex fuel vehicles is one of the ways to tide over the problems created by wide fluctuations in crude oil prices in the international market. And we wrap up today's Money Time with some news from the IPO world. The initial share sale process of Landmark Cars Limited received average response on Dalal Street. Tuesday was the first day of 552 crore rupee IPO of Landmark Cars. By 4 p.m., the lot size was subscribed only 10%. Its shares traded at a GMP of 31 rupees. Another IPO opened for subscription on Dalal Street. The initial share sale process of Sula Vineyards Limited was subscribed 23% on day 2. Its GMP has fallen to 31 rupees on the second day. Another IPO that opened for subscription is Abans Holding Limited, which was subscribed 23% by 4 p.m. on day 2. Its shares were trading at GMP of 10 rupees on the second day. Well, that's all for today here on Money Time at Money9. See you again at the same time tomorrow on the Money9 English's YouTube channel. Do download the Money9 app to watch all episodes of Money 2+2 5 and Company Nama. This is me, Ajay, signing off. Take care and good night.